Welcome to Cherryblossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman, and this is a half an hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. Please join me. If you're new to yoga, remember to use a little caution doing the movements. If you'd like to watch the first time and play this back again, that would be great. If you're seated and unable to stand, anyone can still do yoga by following the deep abdominal breathing and sitting tall and paying attention, just listening to your body and your breath. We're going to do some movements that are great for, when you're first getting up out of bed and you want to get warmed up and get the juices flowing, or maybe you've been seated for a long period at your desk or driving a car and now you really need to stretch. So this is for energy renewal. Please join me. Standing in Tadasana with the feet about hip distance apart, the basic standing pose. You're a mountain, standing tall and strong. Shoulders above hips, hips above knees, knees above ankles. Let's just warm up the knees and ankles a little bit by bending and straightening. Take care not to over straighten, that is, hyperextend your knees, and always keep a little softness in your knees, no matter what the pose. Standing with the feet a little bit farther apart, place your hands on your hips, keep your knees soft, and draw a circle in the air with your tailbone or with your hips. And notice how your lower back feels, how each hip feels, maybe your knees, maybe hear some popping sounds. This is good for warming up the ankles and getting yourself centered so that you are balanced. And let's go the other direction. And then come back to center again, feet about hip distance apart. Now with your shoulders, keeping your pelvis steady. So you're going around and around from the top. Of course, if you're seated and your chair has arms, you might want to scoot forward a bit. And then go in the other direction. See, you're warming up already. And then feet apart, maybe about a foot or two apart, toes pointed outward, and carefully bending your knees side to side. Again, warming up the knee joints, ankle joints. Your feet are starting to feel, your weight. Is your weight evenly distributed over your feet? And now check your spine, standing tall or sitting tall. Reach up through the crown of your head. And come back to center. And either heel toe back into Tadasana or step your feet back into place. We're going to reach up, palms facing each other, lean a little bit to one side. Keep this arm over the ear or over the cheek and breathe. Half moon pose. Breathing into center, crossing center line and exhaling. Leaning to the other side. Watch that this arm doesn't drop forward. Keep your gaze directly straight ahead, eye level. And breathing. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling either through the nose or through the mouth. Inhale to center. Place your palms together, link your thumbs. And again, a side stretch, keeping the arms alongside of the cheeks. And you can hold. Try not to fall forward or kind of sink forward. And inhale up and to the other side and breathe. And back to center. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms up and reach. And then turn them down, up and down. Stretching out your fingers, your wrists, giving some movement into your shoulders and your neck. And then palms together, thumbs linked. Again, a sideward stretch. Breathing in place, and inhale, center, and exhale. And repeat again on each side. And come to center. Separate your hands. Let your hands become heavy. And let the arms float down as gravity slowly pulls your arms down to your sides. And rotate one shoulder backward. And then the other shoulder. And alternate shoulders come forward. Backs of the hands press against each other. Really press so you can feel the muscles contracting up your arms, pressing. Inhale, rotate the hands back. The thumbs point back, tighten the belly, and then release the belly. Inhale, and exhale. Tighten the belly with the exhalation, and then inhale, open. Fill up with air. The yoga mudra is an energy seal, and we call it chest expander. I'm going to turn this way. So your hands are fingers interlaced behind you, feet hip distance apart, and we're going to hinge forward, maybe halfway down, and then slowly lift the hands up. So don't lift your chin, back of the neck is smooth. Reach out through your hands, and then come up, unhinging from the hips, and then reach through your hands. Looking up slightly, take a deep breath and feel the chest expand. You'll feel the rib cage open up and lift. And then exhale, release the shoulders. Let the hands come to your sides and breathe. And again, for chest expander, the yoga mudra, inhale, stretching out. Bend your knees slightly and hinge forward from the hips about halfway down. Don't lift the back of your head. You're looking straight down at the floor. And then inhale up. Tuck the tailbone under and release the hands. Now, right now my hands feel really light, as if my arms would float up. And we're trying that again. Breathe in. And feel how your shoulders roll back. You've opened up some of the deltoid muscles, the pectoral muscles, and come as far forward as you can. Knees slightly bent. Lower your head, let it hang, and breathe. And as you inhale, push up. And exhale, release, and arms to your sides. And repeating, first chest expander, knees bend and soften, hinge forward, tighten your belly muscles, and come down farther. Now slowly separate your hands, and as if you're holding maybe a glass of water in each hand, so you don't want it to spill. Bring your hands down to your side. Now lower your head. Let your head be heavy, your neck lengthen as gravity pulls it down. And you may be able to see I have a little bit of bend in my knees. So I'm going to straighten the left knee while really bending the right, and then straighten the right knee while bending the left, and alternately bending and straightening. Now I move my hands forward because I don't want to be pushing outward way far. I want to keep the hips pretty much above the ankles. And then we can go back into chest expander, or you can unfold upward, but if you can bring your hands back, raise the arms up and then out, not too far, you don't want to strain the muscles. Lifting forehead, nose, chin, pressing the floor away, coming back, releasing the arms, and arms to your sides. Another version of this would be to take a step forward. So I'm going to turn my left foot out just slightly, keeping the feet still hip distance apart. I'm going to take a relatively small step forward. Toes of the right foot point forward, squaring the hips and the shoulders to the front end of the mat. I'm coming back into Yoga Mudra. Breathe in and exhale and hinge forward. So my right armpit is lining up with my right leg. And I'm going to lift the hands a little more, but not bring them over the shoulders. You can really strain the muscles. You just want to reach outward at this point so you feel a lift upward. And then slowly separate the hands, let them come down. And you can feel a stretch going on through the lower back, the backs of the legs. If it's uncomfortable, bend the knees slightly until you feel that you're warming up and the muscles are lengthening. And you can either uncurl upward, letting the arms hang, or bring the hands behind you again. Come back into Yoga Mudra. And with your back as flat as possible, come up, unhinge, bend the right knee slightly. Now really roll the shoulders back. Press the shoulder blades in toward each other. Let your eyes look up. You don't need to lift the chin. Now I'm going to release the hands slowly. Put the weight on the right foot and bring the left foot forward. And stand and breathe. So this time, to repeat on the other side, the weight is on the right foot, which is turned outward slightly. Going to bring the left foot, not a big step forward. If you're more advanced, you can take a longer step. But if you're just learning, this is new to you, then take it a little at a time. So coming into chest expander, breathe in. And exhaling down. And release the hands to the floor. Let your head hang. Now I can see I'm pushing back too far through the right sit bone, so I'm going to walk my hands forward a bit. And either unhinge upward or come back into Yoga Mudra, unfolding, inhaling up. Release the arms. You can either step forward or back, but coming back into center. And now another version which I really like, coming into Yoga Mudra. I'm going to take a step forward with the right foot, left foot turned out, hips square to the end of the mat, looking straight ahead. Breathe in and exhale and hinge forward. So the shoulders lined up with the legs. Slowly release the hands. I'm bringing the right arm outside of the right leg, so the right hand is just alongside of the right ankle. Left hand should be pretty much under the shoulder. I'm going to press down through both feet evenly, pull my left hip back, and then watch the left arm come up. I'm looking at the back of the left hand and dropping the right shoulder. You have to bring the left hip back. You can keep some softness in your right knee. Doesn't need to be perfectly straight. Breathe in and breathe out and watch the hand come down in time with your breath. Then on your fingertips with the fingers spread, You're going to shift the weight now to the left hand. Look over your right shoulder and watch the right hand come up and reach. Lift up and reach. And exhaling, come down. And we'll come up as we did before. Either unfold upward or bring the hands behind you. Yoga mudra, unhinge. Release the arms and step forward. And now for the left foot forward, I'm stepping back a bit, right foot out, left foot forward, not a big step. Squaring my torso to the end of the mat. Yoga mudra, energy seal, breathe in. And exhaling, hinging forward from the hips, aiming that shoulder toward the left knee, separating the hands. And the left hand is outside of the left ankle. Going to turn and watch the right arm come up. Try to pull my right shoulder back a bit and then lift upward so I'm not putting a lot of weight. You see, just touching here on the left side. Breathe in and out. And shift your weight to the right hand. Look at your left shoulder and then we'll look down the arm as you bring the left arm up. You'll find, as in all yoga poses, one side is a little bit easier or more open than the other. That's normal. Breathe in and breathing out, lower the hand down. Centering yourself, come back into yoga mudra, flattening the back. Lift the back of your neck, inhale upward. Let the chest expand. Release the arms, take a step forward. Back in Tadasana, breathing. Close your eyes for a moment. Listen to the sound of your breath. Can you feel your heart beating? Maybe it's pounding a bit from these simple movements and postures. Feel the soles of your feet pressing down through the mat. Feel the strength of your legs, the length of your spine. Move into your head and brain. Feel your energy. Be present with your breath. We're going to take a short break. We'll return to Cherryblossom Yoga in just a moment. We will be on the floor, so either have your towel or blanket or yoga mat or on the carpet, wherever makes you comfortable, and I'll be with you in just a moment.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Cherryblossom Yoga. Come join me on the floor. If you're seated, you'll probably be able to do some of the movements and stretches even seated. Or follow and imagine in your mind that you're doing the postures. Just be sure to breathe deeply. I'm going to sit on my folded blanket to elevate my hips, which is what I usually do with a seated posture. That helps open up the legs. So first of all, Baddha Konasana, seated angle pose. This helps open up the hips and the groin. So I have the soles of my feet together. My hands are above the ankle bones. I'm using my forearms up to my elbow to push the legs apart. Just pressing, trying to keep my rib cage lifted. Then I'm going to interlace my fingers loosely and wrap them around the lower toes. Then quickly raise and lower. And then Upavishta Konasana with the legs far apart in a wide V. I gently press the legs apart. Then I want to lift up, lifting up the collarbone and the breastbone, and then reach. Reach one hand after the other, keeping the toes pointed upward. You'll feel it through the muscles here and inside the legs. Keeping the arms parallel to each other. And walk the hands back, sit up, and turn the toes in and turn them out. So you feel it deep into the hip joint. And then coming down on one side and reaching for the outside of the foot. Just resting. I'm tucking the leg under my arm. Remember, everybody's built differently, so this may or may not work for you. And then coming up, I'm going to the other side. Sink down. Wonderful stretches through the back of the legs, up into the lower back muscles. And then one of my favorites, Paschimottanasana, which I usually do sideways, but I'm going to do it this way. So hands at the heart, feet are flexed. Breathe in, breathe out, and dive down. Inhale up, arms alongside of your ears. Now really lift the rib cage so you can feel there's space through the abdomen. Your spinal column's long, then you're going to hinge forward and reach maybe for a spot above the toes, maybe a foot or so above your feet. And reach upward again. And exhale. And again, a lower back stretch. And the backs of the legs are feeling this. You don't need to come down all the way. But see how I've got the feet really flexed and come up. And exhaling, pull your belly in. If you can, reach for the top of your feet. Not everybody can do this. You can also reach for your ankle or the shin. But coming forward, and then aim for a spot, a few feet away, so you're not dropping or rounding forward. Allow the lower back muscles to open. This is a wonderful stretch all the way down the hamstrings, into the calf muscles, even a bit into the back of your heel, the Achilles tendon. Slowly walk the hands back. And then Sukhasana. Now I have one leg tucked in. I have my right leg in front, and they're not crossed at the ankles. One is in front of the other. So I want to, again, yoga mudras, the energy seal, and breathe. Now crossing one arm over the other, reach for the top of your leg, not the knee itself. Come forward, squeezing a bit. Try to keep your back straight. Feel a wonderful stretch all the way up and down the back. And come up. And try the other arm forward, which will feel awkward. And then, whichever foot is in front, bring it behind. Arms crossed again, come forward. You might find that the muscles are a little bit more elastic. You can come down a little closer and come up, reverse the arms, walk the fingers as far as you can to the outside of the leg, and keeping the back straight without collapsing inward. Come down. And release. And breathe. Again, fingers to thumbs. You're seated tall, pressing down through the two sit bones. Your shoulders up above your hips. Think of your abdomen as a large space. And when you breathe in through your nostrils, follow the air down your throat into your abdomen. And allow yourself to receive the benefits of all the deep breathing, postures, and stretching we've been doing in class. Try to do a little yoga on your own every day, even if it means sitting quietly and breathing deeply. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful, and I hope you carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, into your life. Namaste.